If you're thinking about retiring in Orange County, but Newport feels out of reach, or you're coming from out of state, wondering if this coastal lifestyle is actually worth it, let me tell you something most people won't. Costa Mesa might be the sweet spot. And I don't say that casually. I've lived here for over 30 years. I've raised my kids here. I grew up just down the road in Newport Beach. I've watched this area transform from orange groves and quieter streets into what it is today. And over the years, I've seen something interesting. Retirees who can choose anywhere, quietly choosing Costa Mesa. Not because it's flashy, not because it's trendy, but because it fits. So today I want to walk through why that is, and also the parts people don't talk about. If we haven't met, I'm Christine Donovan. I'm both a real estate broker and an attorney, and have been for more than 25 years. That combination shapes how I approach retirement decisions. I don't just look at houses emotionally, I look at long-term livability, layout functionality, tax structure, financial sustainability, and what a decision looks like 15 years from now, not just next summer, because retirement is not a short-term move. For most people, it is the final major relocation decision of their lives, and that deserves preparation. Let's start with the hardest part. If you're coming from Texas, Tennessee, Arizona, Nevada, the first reaction is often this. This feels expensive, and that reaction makes sense. Homes here cost more than many parts of those states. You may get a smaller lot. Your monthly numbers may look different on paper. If you're used to Texas pricing, Costa Mesa can feel like a dramatic shift. If you're coming from Arizona, you may be comparing large single-story homes with expansive garages. If you're relocating from Tennessee or Nevada, you may be thinking about tax differences. So yes, on paper, it can feel like a leap. But here's the question I always ask. What are you retiring for? Are you retiring for square footage, or are you retiring for lifestyle? Because Costa Mesa is not a square footage play, it is a proximity play. You're 10 minutes from Newport Beach without being trapped in peninsula traffic. You're minutes from South Coast Plaza, which has evolved into a serious dining and cultural hub, not just a shopping center. You're near Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach and surrounded by a strong medical network. You're close to John Wayne Airport, which makes travel and family visits dramatically easier. That convenience changes daily life. And daily life is what retirement actually is. And if you're retiring in Texas, you get the heat, the cold, and the humidity. The lifestyle there requires a larger house because more of it is lived indoors. Arizona has extreme heat in the summer. That is almost non-existent in Costa Mesa. Tennessee's the South, and that humidity is brutal. And because people want to be here for the lifestyle it offers, there's a cost to access it. Let's slow this down and think about a normal day, not a vacation, a normal Wednesday. You wake up and step outside. The air is mild. You're not dealing with extreme humidity or triple-digit heat. You're not scraping ice off your windshield. You meet a friend for coffee at a local cafe, one that didn't exist 15 years ago, because Costa Mesa's food culture has grown significantly. You run errands without navigating a massive metro sprawl. Later in the week, your grandkids fly into John Wayne Airport. You're there in minutes, not 2 hours. On Saturday, you walk, bike, or drive 10 minutes to Newport Beach, enjoy the ocean, and come home without feeling stuck in tourist congestion. That rhythm feels different than a larger home farther inland. And over time, rhythm outweighs square footage. Here's what people don't realize until they're living in it. In a smaller home in Costa Mesa, you're not trading lifestyle, you're editing it. You're keeping the parts that matter and releasing the parts that drain you. That's the work of a good retirement, not more space. Better choices about which spaces serve you. That's why retirees stay here. Not because Costa Mesa is perfect, because it fits the life they actually want to live, not the life they think they're supposed to live. I grew up in Newport. I graduated from Newport Harbor. I remember driving down the 5 freeway with my mom and my sister, windows down, warm August air, the scent of orange groves filling the car. Orange County has changed dramatically since then. The groves are mostly gone, development has expanded, traffic patterns are different, but the coastal living, it remains. And anyone who's tried to leave the peninsula on a busy summer weekend understands congestion. Costa Mesa gives you access to Newport without being confined by it. You can enjoy the beach, enjoy the bay, then come home without navigating gridlock as part of your daily life. That balance becomes increasingly valuable in retirement. Laguna Woods often enters the conversation because it can appear less expensive initially. But affordability is not just purchase price. HOA dues in Laguna Woods are substantial. They support amenities, infrastructure, and services. For some retirees, that structure is ideal. But those dues are part of your total monthly expenditure. Laguna Woods HOA dues run $600 to $900 monthly. That's $7,200 to $10,800 a year before property taxes. Costa Mesa gives you a choice. Want HOA? Fine. Want to own free and clear? You can do that too. Financial flexibility becomes protection in retirement. Most people don't realize they're trading it away. And geographically, Laguna Woods is inland. Costa Mesa keeps you closer to the coast, which affects climate and daily comfort. The difference shows up every day, not just in marketing materials. The most common regret I see is not price, it's layout. Retirees fall in love with updated kitchens, beautiful finishes, but they forget to ask practical questions. Where will guests stay when they visit longer than expected? Where do holiday decorations, luggage, seasonal items, and important documents live? Guest space becomes more important in retirement, not less. Storage becomes sanity. Downsizing is smart, but downsizing without intention creates friction. A home should support how you live, not just how it looks. Do you prefer a dedicated 55-plus community? That's an important filter. Costa Mesa is a general residential city. Knowing your preference early prevents regrets later. Proposition 13 affects property taxes. It passed in 1978 and significantly limited property tax increases in California. One of the driving concerns was that rising property values were pushing homeowners, including seniors on fixed incomes, out of their homes. As of now, Prop 13 remains law. Proposition 19 later modified certain aspects of it, including allowing homeowners age 55 and over to transfer their property tax base within California under specific conditions. That flexibility has influenced downsizing strategies. However, laws evolve. Prop 13 was altered by Prop 19. Discussions about future changes continue. Decisions should be based on current law and thoughtful planning. This is general information, not legal or tax advice, but it is part of the legal and financial framework of retirement planning. I mentioned Hoag Hospital, but here's what that actually means. As we age, proximity to quality medical care shifts from convenience to necessity. You want to be minutes away, not navigating traffic with chest pain or potential stroke. That becomes peace of mind. Costa Mesa puts you close to one of Orange County's top health systems, surrounded by specialists. That's not marketing, that's structural peace of mind. My grandfather grew prize-winning roses. When people asked him his secret, he would say, "You put a $5 rose in a $50 hole." He meant preparation, depth, foundation. You can buy the most beautiful rose in the nursery, but if the soil underneath is shallow, it won't thrive. Retirement is your rose. Costa Mesa may be beautiful, but the preparation, financial, structural, practical, determines whether it flourishes. Before making a decision, ask yourself, does this city support our daily rhythm, not just our vacation fantasy? Have we evaluated total monthly cost, not just the purchase price? Will this layout serve us for the next 15 years? If the answers feel grounded, you're planting well. Retirement can feel like your last major move, and that creates pressure. But confidence doesn't come from choosing the flashiest home. It comes from alignment. Costa Mesa is not the cheapest option. It's not a retirement bubble. It is integrated, vibrant, accessible, and close to everything that defines coastal Orange County. For many retirees, it becomes the sweet spot, not because it's perfect, but because it fits. Clarity first, preparation second, then confidence. If you're considering Costa Mesa and want to evaluate it thoughtfully, I'm here as a resource. No pressure, just structure. Because this isn't just a move. It's where your next chapter grows. If you're considering retiring to Costa Mesa, reach out. Drop your questions in the comments. Tell me where you're moving from. My contact information is below. Call, text, email, and I'll see you in the next one.